Hello everyone, Timur from easypronunciation.com here. If you watched my previous video 8 language learning rules, you may be wondering how all these rules can be applied in real language learning situations. Well, my friends, you've come to the right place. If you love listening to audiobooks and learning foreign languages, this video is for you. Today, I will show you how to learn words from the context using audiobooks and my website easypronunciation.com. The main approach is the following. We will be listening to an audiobook and creating notes for some words that we want to learn. A quick remark, this specific method works best if you can understand at least 70 to 80% of your audiobook. So if you're a beginner, you just need to find an audiobook adapted for your level. Okay, we will be creating notes. So what is a note? A note is a short piece of text that creates enough context to help you learn and review later some new linguistic information, such as a word or a grammar pattern. I personally learned more than 4,000 Spanish words by immersing myself in the language and creating notes, and I never used a dictionary. Where to find audiobooks? I used Audible, which is one of the largest websites that sell audiobooks. However, you don't need a paid subscription. You can find many free audiobooks on sites like YouTube or LibriVox. There are thousands of classic books in the public domain whose audio and text versions are freely available. I often use translated books. This way I can learn several languages using the same book. I already know the story and it's easier for me to guess the meaning of some words. I personally love the books about Sherlock Holmes and Harry Potter. They're a great choice for the intermediate level. Right now I'm at the end of the 3rd Harry Potter book, so I will show you what I do when I start a new chapter. Okay, so we want to create notes. On easypronunciation.com, your notes are conveniently organized in, yes, you guessed it right, in notebooks. So first you need to click this little icon at the top of the page to access your notebooks. Or you can press Alt-N on your keyboard. Now click on the link, create a new notebook. I will enter the title of the notebook, Harry Potter 322. Más bus mensajeros, and I will click the submit button. Now you can click this link, open my default notebook, or press Alt-O on your keyboard. By the way, before creating the notes for any specific chapter in my book, I usually listen to this chapter once. I do this for several reasons. I want to immerse myself in the story, get familiar with the context, and fully enjoy the performance of the voice actor who recorded the audiobook. When you're looking for audiobooks, you want to find an actor whose voice you can listen to for hours, even if you don't understand anything. When I listen to the chapter for the second time, I simultaneously allow my eyes to follow the written text. Now comes the best part. If you have your book in electronic format, you can upload the text on easypronunciation.com and read the book directly from the browser. I happen to have the text version of the 3rd Harry Potter book, and that's what I'm going to do. I will click the button Organize this notebook, and then the link Upload text. I will copy paste the text of the chapter here, use the default settings and click the submit button. And now we have this little icon in the bottom right corner, show the uploaded text. Click it or press Alt-Z on your keyboard and voila! We have the text of our book in the browser that we can follow along. Okay, so what do? We listen to the audiobook and follow along with the text. When you do this, quite often you will encounter a word that you don't know, but still can understand what it means from the context. Let's take this note from the book Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Un rayo de luz se extendió sobre la hierba, llegó hasta la base de un árbol e iluminó sus ramas. Allí oculto en el follaje estaba Cruikshanks.
I don't know the word follaje from the second sentence. All the rest means something like a beam of light fell on the grass, reached the bottom of a tree, and illuminated its branches. There, hidden in something, was Cruikshanks. I'm pretty sure that this something means the leaves of a tree, so I created a note with these two sentences. The first sentence helps to create the context. The second sentence by itself will not help me remember the meaning of the word follaje when I will be reviewing this note later, so I need both sentences. Now, how can you increase the chances of understanding? I suggest you relax and allow the sound of the language to come to you instead of clinging to individual words. For some of you, it may be very different from how you learned in school, where we are often taught to pay attention. This pay attention concept forces you to concentrate on just one thing and ignore a lot of others. Here, we actually want to spread our attention in a nice, relaxed way and learn by absorbing more information in any given amount of time. Think of it like listening to a song. You aren't straining to hear just the drums. You let the entire melody, the drums, bass, guitar come to you at once. Similarly, you will be learning intonation, pronunciation, vocabulary, and grammar simultaneously. Now, how do you actually create notes? There are two basic ways to do this. First, you can create a note by clicking the link Create a New Note, and you can actually type the note yourself. That's exactly what I was doing with the Sherlock Holmes books. As you can see, the words are highlighted in different colors depending on their frequency while you type. And second, you can create a note using the uploaded text. Let's see how it works. Okay, so I opened the uploaded text by clicking this icon. Let's say I finished listening to this paragraph and I want to create a note which includes several sentences. First I click the first word, then I click the last word, and then I click the button Create a Note. If you remember, when I was uploading the text, I kept the default settings. With the default settings, after creating a note, you are redirected to the page where you have a chance to highlight the words that you want to learn. Let's say I want to learn the word arrimaron. So I click it, then I click again on the icon Show the uploaded text, and I continue listening to the audiobook. What if you come across a word and you kind of know what it means, you saw it before, but you're not sure whether you want to create a note or no? In this case, you can search all your notes. To open the search tab, you can click this icon at the bottom left called Search in My Notes. You can also press Shift Enter on your keyboard and then type the word that you want to search for in the search field. And by the way, there's another very cool way to open the search tab. You can double click any word in the uploaded text and then the word will magically appear in the search box. In the case of Spanish, you will often need to remove the ending and then hit Enter on your keyboard or click the search icon here. In my case, I already have more than 3,000 notes, so it became a real time saver to be able to instantly get access to all the notes with a particular word. If you learn a language with very complex pronunciation rules, such as English, French, or German, you may need to see the phonetic transcription of your text. To do this, when you select text to create a note, You can first send the selected text to the pronunciation generator and only then create a note. With such an approach, your note will include both the text and its phonetic transcription. A great way to review your notes is to use the text-to-speech feature available with premium subscription. You can generate the audio for your notes and listen to how they are pronounced by different voices.
Un rayo de luz se extendió sobre la hierba, llegó hasta la base de un árbol e iluminó sus ramas.
Un rayo de luz se extendió sobre la hierba, llegó hasta la base de un árbol e iluminó sus ramas.
This will help you a lot with your listening comprehension. I hope you find this information helpful. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. If you want to test this approach, I invite you to create a free account on easypronunciation.com and start learning a language by creating notes. It was Timur. Thank you and see you next time.